All right, let's talk about something that I think a lot of us really wrestle with, and that's spending money on ourselves, on our own inner development, things like therapy or coaching. We're going to explore a really powerful way to reframe that, to stop seeing it as a cost and start seeing it as maybe the most valuable investment you can ever make. But why does it feel so weird? I mean, think about it. We're often way more comfortable buying the latest gadget or a new car than we are paying for a conversation that could literally change the entire direction of our lives. It's a super common feeling. And as we're about to see, there's a deep cultural reason for it. In a lot of cultures, and India is a great example of this, the whole concept of paying someone to help you navigate your inner world is, well, it's just plain unfamiliar. It just doesn't really compute with our traditional understanding of what has value. And that's because, from a really young age, most of us are taught a very specific lesson about money and security. And that lesson is this: real, trustworthy value is found in things you can physically hold, things that feel concrete and certain. This creates what you could call a gospel of tangible assets. It's a whole belief system around what makes for a smart, safe, and respectable investment. And man, it is deeply ingrained in our financial DNA. So what falls into this category? Exactly what you'd think. Gold, property. Heck, even marriage is often framed as a secure investment. We pour our money into savings accounts and insurance policies. And all of these things promise a feeling of safety because they're visible, they're measurable, and they're culturally approved. They're just the default setting. But here's where we make a big pivot. What if, before any of those external assets, there's a more foundational blueprint that dictates literally everything else? And that blueprint is your inner world. This is the absolute core idea right here. It's the suggestion that everything we experience on the outside, our finances, our relationships, our careers, is basically just a direct reflection of what's happening on the inside. Let's break that relationship down because it's huge. Think of it as cause and effect. On one side, you have your inner world. That's the cause. It's all those invisible patterns, your deep-seated beliefs, your automatic responses. And on the other side, the outer world. That's the effect, the tangible results. So how you relate to money isn't just about a spreadsheet. It's a direct effect of your inner beliefs. The partners you choose, how you show up at work, it all starts from within. So, if you actually decide to invest in that cause side of the equation, what's the payoff? Well, the returns aren't always a straight line, and they're not always immediate, but wow, are they profound. Get this, a lot of clients actually report seeing a 5 or even 10 times return on their initial investment. But hold on, this is not just about making more money. It's about the incredible value you get from fundamentally changing your life's entire operating system. And here's what those returns actually look like in real life. It's about having more clarity when everything feels confusing, which of course leads to making better decisions that just compound over a lifetime. It means building healthier relationships, learning how to regulate your body's stress response, and, this is a big one, finally breaking free from those frustrating, repeating patterns we all get stuck in. So let me ask you this: what is the actual value of finally understanding why you feel stuck, of seeing that unconscious pattern that was driving the whole show all along? For a lot of people, that kind of clarity is absolutely priceless. But, and this is important, this is not a passive process. You don't just pay someone to fix you. This work is an active partnership, and the real engine for change is and always will be you. A therapist or a coach doesn't hold some magic key. Their job is to hold up a mirror, to help you see your own patterns with total clarity. Once you can see clearly, the power to choose to do things differently is entirely yours. Now, for this investment to really pay off, a few conditions have to be met. First, you have to be truly ready for change. Second, you gotta have patience because this work is not a quick fix. Third, a deep commitment to the process. And finally, humility, the willingness to look at yourself honestly. And all of this brings us right back to that central idea. When you understand the depth of what you're actually working on, the very blueprint of your life, the conversation just shifts completely away from cost. The value here isn't transactional. It's not measured in hours or the number of sessions. It's transformational. It's measured in the new quality of life you start to build for yourself, day by day, decision by decision. So yeah, for those who are ready to really engage with their inner world, the money spent is never just an expense. It is an investment in the only asset that truly shapes every other part of your reality:
yourself. So, what cycles in your life might finally change if you saw them with total clarity?